What's up, hot makers? How you guys doing? Another Monday night. I'm Nerdy J. This is the Pooch. How you doing, Pooch?
I'm fantastic, man. What a great weekend. What a great episode we've got planned. There's so much to be excited about. Tell me what you did over your weekend, Nerdy J.
Oh man, my weekend, I busted my back up pretty good on Saturday, bending over. If you guys want to know how, go watch the live stream I had on Saturday with the longer LK5 Pro, because my wife called me out and I had to tell the whole world why I did it or how I did it. But anyways, I would just say I hurt my back a little bit, so it's been a little sore. Other than that, just hanging out and doing the things. How about you? I think you had a big weekend.
Oh my gosh, I was so excited. So we had a big family get together, first one really since COVID. Everybody's been vaccinated, so it wasn't just the immediate family, but like all the cousins and everything. So we went back home. I'm from Cupertino, home of Apple headquarters. I did a tweet about that yesterday. We actually got a chance to go check out the visitor center and the new spaceship there. They call it Apple Park, but I've seen it all over. That was a lot of fun and really, really neat to see. Now I couldn't get actually on campus because the security and all, but they do a really neat little visitor center, which has its own Apple store and all kinds of other cool stuff. So that was fun. Nice. And then just it's been a crazy week. I've been working on a bunch of different projects. Got into resin printing in earnest last week, and it's been just a great rebirth of fresh new making and 3D printing for me lately. So
nice.
There you go.
That's awesome. And we've been seeing your social media posts. It seems like you're having a lot of fun with a lot of different things. So keep that.
Yeah, just always juggling, all these different things. But it's a lot of fun, and I've got a couple of things I'm really excited about that are on deck for after the stream tonight as well. Going to play with the 3D Chameleon, but from Bill Steele's latest jam, nice. And a new belt for the CR30 from Power Belt 3D that they sent me to test out, that I've been a little slow getting installed. So I'm going to work on those things tonight after stream, and I'm excited for that.
That sounds like a fun time. Someone says Jim hurt his back doing a hair flip. No, that's I still got it. Still,
give us a hair flip. Do it.
There we go.
For those of you who don't know who our robot friend is, that's Geary, our AI that Jim programmed, who has since long taken on a life of his own. He's got a little bit of sass. He sounds like he's a little mellow today, but we'll see. You never know. It's still early.
That 100% true. what probably happened is I don't know how to program, so I just made a bunch of crap up, and then we got this. Yeah,
you try
Google,
turning it off and on again.
Exactly. Anyways, before we go anywhere else, thanks. Sponsored the stream. Thank you so much. Thanks for sponsoring the stream tonight. $50 Amazon gift card at the end of the stream. If you hang out, you have to be present to win. So check that out. Yeah. We have a fun. We're working on some fun bumper stuff with that too. So that'll be a lot of fun going forward. We want to say thanks to Things for sponsoring the stream tonight and the streams going forward. We really do appreciate that. I know they're on, so say hi to them. Also, don't forget we're going to give away 2 more of the 3D printing gear filament boxes. We got 2 more of those, and then that'll include the 5 boxes we had. So we're going to do those and have a little fun there. But I mean, all of that stuff is like a side to what we have coming up.
Well, wait, hold on. Before you jump off that, though, tell people how they enter to win.
Oh yeah, to enter to win. Yeah,
that's kind of an important detail.
To win it is a very important detail. It is in. I think it's in the description. I could be wrong about that.
I just posted in the chat too.
Perfect. I was just gonna say,
Thank you, Gary.
Yeah, we'll post the forms. There we go.
I expect everyone to type that out manually.
Yes, we'll do that.
Or copy paste.
I just shot it out there too in the chat. So what you need to do is click on that link and register to win there, because we'll at the end of the show we'll pick from the names that are in there. Make sure you the biggest one in there is your email and your YouTube name. Don't transverse those, or your email might show up on the screen while we're doing this. But yeah, the other big thing we have tonight, we got some mail.
Whoa, mail call.
Mail. Yeah, mail there.
Woohoo!
So,
Ooh,
so
that's
we
a
got
fancy
some
box.
fun stuff. Yeah, well, there's two. It came
Is
in
that
two.
something from Mondelez? Like it was like all the Mondelez brands or something. Like they've got some Ritz and some Oreos on there. What did
Yeah.
I say?
Well,
Okay.
I can tell you can see one thing on the screen that probably gives it away. But
I know what it is
we'll
already.
See. We'll see.
I got a bad feeling about this.
So
Me
David
too,
Wilson,
me too.
David Wilson set that over, and we'll have some fun opening up that later. But yeah, we have an awesome guest tonight.
Man,
Really do.
I'm excited. This is absolutely a hidden gem. I wouldn't be surprised if many of you haven't heard of our guest tonight. It's and we're going to get into maybe to why. But let's just say, hidden gem is an understatement. His skills are incredible, and I can't wait to have him on. We're going to have him in here in just a second. Man, it is always fun to be meeting new and new, like just when we think we knew the entire community, right? It's like whole new,
Right.
Worlds are opened up to us, right, Jim?
Absolutely true, and I love it when that happens. The Tim is such an awesome guy we have coming on, and seeing his work is amazing, and the story behind it as well. So stay tuned because I can't wait for everybody to hear that. But what's cool, it kind of like brings you back to like Murph or Earth, where you've never heard of some of these, people before, and you show up and they might have a table and you're like, holy, you did this, And I think when we find, people in the community like that, it's awesome, especially to come on and share them with everybody. And like Pooch alluded to, hopefully we'll go into why too, but
Yeah,
I'm pumped.
Well, I mean, okay, so yeah, it's going to be we got a full show between Tim's interview here. We got some good giveaways. We got thing sponsor, and what about any announcements? Anything coming up that we got to talk about? Any shout outs, Jim?
We do. We do them now?
Yeah, let's get them out of the way.
We have a bumper for this kind of thing, right? Let's do this.
I know. I was looking for an excuse to play the announcements bumper.
Yeah.
Roll it.
Okay, listen up, everybody. Turn up your volumes. Announcement.
Attention, we have an announcement. Attention, we have an announcement. What was that? Yes, Mom. Yeah, okay. Mom, I'm doing a thing.
Every time I hear that. Anyway.
So first announcement.
Yeah. Number one.
It never gets old, does it, Jim? It never gets old.
No, I love seeing it. We don't play that one enough.
No, we don't. We need to have more announcements, don't we? Just things to share with everybody. But first announcement, we would be remiss if we did not say a happy birthday to our good friend Andrew Sink. Today is his birthday.
Woo!
Happy birthday to you, Andrew. We love seeing all your stuff. Keep all the good makes coming. And I hope you got some good plans, good food, good friends, all that stuff planned for the day.
Agreed. Happy birthday. Love seeing the post today. And if you have a chance, throw a happy birthday in the comments here, and hopefully he'll jump on and see him. And if not, hit Twitter up after the stream and blow his Twitter up with happy birthdays. Let's do that.
For my birthday? There's someone in my house eating my birthday cake.
You hate it. You hate to see that.
Fired him up. You had to say he was being mellow today, didn't you? No.
You took it as a challenge.
I'll be back.
Well, happy birthday, Andrew. Another thing that happened today, a 3D print contest started with Filament. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with Filament, but they do a lot of different things. And one of the things they do is some really awesome matte filament. And so it's Filament, if you can get that out fast. But it's a really cool contest. They chose me to be the first guest judge, and it's going to be a series of contests. In this case, I'm just going to do the first contest in the series of them. And I chose the theme of vases. So it can be any vase you want. Vase mode, non-vase mode, resin, FDM. You got metal, print a metal vase. I don't care what it is. Yeah, exactly. Just like that.
Just a little something I just whipped up really quick.
Yeah,
it's not Filament, unfortunately, but I just happen to have one right here.
You can actually use any kind of filament. There's 5 total prizes equaling $500 in giveaways. I just posted link to check out. So come back to this or save it in your browser or something. But go check out that link for your information on how to submit. It's super easy. All you got to do is take some pictures and throw them on socials and tag some certain things. But I got to be a guest judge. I'm really pumped for this contest, and I can't wait to see what people come up with. I know Abby and the crew are like, I have some ideas for bases, so I cannot wait to see what everybody comes up with.
Perfect. Yeah, well, enter a good chance to win. Who likes to tell us in the comments if you like that sweet matte filament too? If you tried it, if you want to try it. You know, I love matte filament. I don't get to print enough with it, honestly.
They sent me some silk to play with, and this is a copper silk. Look at that. I mean, this is like some really nice silk filament. Yeah.
That came out nice.
Oh, yeah.
Let's throw the 3D printer in vase mode and see what happens.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So this is their copper silk PLA, and if you want to use their filaments and you don't have any, you can jump on you can use a code. I believe it's Edge of Tech 10. I believe that's what it is. Edge of Tech 10. You get 10% off anything you want. And the cool thing is since I'm being the first guest judge, they're actually going to give the channel back 10% as well. So
nice.
You jump out there and you spend money on a roll or 2 or 3. They're going to kick back to the channel for 10% as well. So I really appreciate that for Filament. But yeah, check out the contest. It's super easy. Print a vase, throw it on social media, tag us, and we'll see at the end of the month what we have. I can't wait to see it all. But cool.
Nice. And speaking of can't wait, what's coming up next week, my friend?
Oh man, is that next weekend? Holy moly, already? Next weekend's Murph.
Weekend. Yep.
Can you believe it?
That's coming up so fast. I'm so pumped for Murph. I'm going to be down there. I wish you could join us, Pooch. I know you have to deal with like a flock of seagulls or something, but I'm
not ready for the pilgrimage quite yet again this year. I know it's going to be there's going to be a good amount of people there, and I'm glad that you're there representing for us, my friend.
Yeah, I'm pumped. I know Caleb, the guy who edits the videos, he'll be around. He was on our stream Saturday, bringing another friend of mine down. We actually got an Airbnb house, so we're gonna have a little fun all weekend. And nice. I'm gonna be stationed with the Green Gate 3D booth. Like kind of our base camp is gonna be Green Gate 3D, and I'm bringing down my Ender 3 V2, which is hiding right there. And we're going to be giving that away at Murph to someone that comes to Murph on Saturday. So I'm really pumped to do that and have a little fun there. And if you have not been to Murph, I wish I could tell you to come join us. I don't think they're going to allow. I did get a response from them saying they're not opening any other tickets back up. There's still tables if you want to set up a table and show stuff, bring a printer, prints, whatever you want, and then walk around. You could definitely do that. There's tables still. But the individual tickets, I believe, are sold out, and they're not opening anymore. They limited, I believe, to like 500 people this year. So it'll be in a big place, but it'll be like a tight community.
Intimate.
It'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, I think Chep announced he was going to be there too, and I can't wait for that. Except for he's not bringing a spool racer because somebody broke it.
He's had 2 years to fix it. Sounds like
true.
some terrible excuses to me, but anyway.
But yeah, I can't wait. But hopefully, maybe the next one, maybe Earth, or maybe next year, Murph, we'll all get together and have a HotMakes party or something.
Yes, I like it.
Perfect.
Well, what do you think? I think we've babbled on enough about all kinds of other stuff. Let's bring Tim OSullivan in and like look at some cool stuff, huh? What do you say?
Sounds good. Tim, how are you?
Good. How are you? Good.
Oh man, I'm pumped. I'm super pumped to see everything you've been working on.
Tim, we're really excited to have you. And for the people that don't know who you are, which is probably most of it, I mean, we only met you ourselves just a few minutes ago. Can you give us a quick rundown on what your background is and how you got into making?
Yeah, sure. Basically, 3D printing and the things I'm doing is kind of my escape therapy, I guess you call it. I'm retired military. I did about 21 years. I was wounded in combat in 2008, and I needed to find something to kind of take my mind off of things and kind of escape from certain things. It took me about a couple of years to recover from my injuries. So this has been the best therapy for me. So I just stay busy and constantly making stuff. So did I lose? Okay, there you are.
That's fantastic. So making as therapy is great, and I think your story isn't unique. We have a lot of other people in the community who use it as a stress relief, as a therapy as well and stuff. And we can see from the background there, it looks like you've been busy with some pretty epic therapy, my friend.
Yeah, this is what you see back here. I'll give you a quick tour. I've been working on the Stan. He is, I don't know if you remember, some people call him the tailgate space monkey, I guess, the gunner space monkey from Rogue One.
Yeah.
So this is him in progress right now. I started with designing him in what they call ZBrush. So I 3D modeled him in ZBrush, and after I did that, I printed him. After I printed him, I used some monster clay to kind of put in some additional details back into the print after it was done. Then I molded him. I casted him. Another thing about him is that his teeth these are real teeth.
He's got real teeth?
Well, real dental.
Whose teeth?
Yeah, but the same stuff that you use in dental resin. So this will fit and articulate the mouth when I wear it. So you'll see that inside there's a jaw mechanism for my mouth. But it's a work in progress. Right now I'm in the process of hair punching, which is very tedious.
That sounds tedious.
Kind of see the hair on him right now. He's starting to come in.
Holy smokes!
So
So you said hair punching. Are you literally just punching each individual hair or like strands through?
Yeah, more or less. There's a variety of hair that I have here that I'm using. There's a little needle, this little hair punch needle here that I'm using. Some of it will be silicone, but yeah, it's one hair at a time, pretty much. You just grab a wad of it and start poking away at the silicone.
Wow.
So, but
that's amazing. And you're completely self-taught with this stuff, right? I mean, you kind of picked these things up over the years then, huh?
Yeah, I call myself a YouTube engineer. So when I'm struggling with something, I just Google it. It's out there. You can find it on YouTube. And then one of the things, with this community is that I've met a lot of people that are experienced as well. Some great FX artists that I've come across that have reached out to me a few times and given me some good tips. Even in the printing community, because I've done other projects other than him, as you've probably seen. If you'd like, I'd give you a tour over here and show
please.
You some of my other 3D printing projects. People come by and they're like, "That's all 3D printed?" And yeah, pretty much. First one is there's a tauntaun, life-size tauntaun on the wall. Let me see if I can get him. Yeah, he was pretty much 3D printed. And then I took some hair and attached it to him to give him some life, a little bit of fake snow. Over in the back here, you guys remember these guys.
Just a little droid collection you have over here, I can see.
Yeah, pretty much. And all of them are functional, too. So they do BB-8 rolls, and so does R2. Same with DO.
Wow.
A lot of these designs are already out there. Michael Badley, who does the printed droids, he's got a group that has, he designed this R2. And, I pretty much just follow the instructions. And then once you get out there in the R2 builders groups and the BB-8 builder groups, the mechanics of how they work, the information is out there as well.
Wow.
This guy here, he was my COVID project. During COVID, I cranked him out. This is Moroff from Rogue One.
Whoa.
Wow.
I get in him. I'm about 7'2" in this guy.
Holy moly.
How does that work? Are there platform? Are there stilts to it? Like,
Yeah, there are stilts in there. So drywall stilts that I've got. And it's interesting about how he was designed as well. When I wanted to do more off, I had a 3D scan of my body done out at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, and I took that scan and I took the image of more off and kind of overlapped it and tried to figure out what would be a good scale. Now, the original actor is 7'1". So with this suit on, he was like 7'7". I'm only about 7'1". It's close. But if I were to do 7'7", the arms wouldn't be proportionate for me. So because they say your arm length is the same length, if you stretch your arms out, same length as your height.
Right.
So, I don't have a 7'1" arm length stretch. So, or
and that's just what you need to go to a con and have somebody call you being 6 inches short. You're like, wait a minute. That guy was 7'7". There's always somebody like that, right?
You can't just throw stilts on the end of your arms.
Arm stilts.
Arm stilts. The thing now.
No, it's kind of interesting. Some of the parts that are printed on this are the chest piece, which I had to model in Fusion 360, and it's kind of interesting because it actually has an iPhone in it, and just like in the movie, so that when you talk on the outside, it makes that wave modulator that goes up and down. It picks up your voice.
Right.
So it does that. Gives that nice effect.
So good.
His head. The jaw piece was modeled and printed, but however, the head was done by my friend Joey. She's a master Wookiee maker. She does Chewbacca's. Absolutely. I mean, some of the best Chewbacca heads I've ever seen. So,
is that an actual profession? A master Wookiee maker?
I wouldn't say profession, but she's known. Lucasfilm knows her. Everybody knows who she is because she does such a beautiful job on these things. So. In the Star Wars community, she's pretty well known for her outstanding work. So,
wow, that's incredible.
The other project I took on, many of you have seen The Mandalorian.
Oh yeah,
that is Q90. So he's
nice.
It's the full suit. I just don't have the arms on right now because I have to build a mannequin for him. But
so you've worn that as well.
I have. Yeah, he's fully wearable. That was printed, molded, and casted. So most of the parts that you see there are cast. So I like Smooth On Products 65D. So I did at one point. I made a run of those heads for the group, and it's just a lot of work because the lenses are the trickiest part. They're vacuum form pieces, and then you got to tint them. And you could probably get it now, but I had a hard time getting the PET-G for during COVID for lenses because most of the suppliers were sending out the plastic to places that need for face shields and other things. Right. So I kind of slowed down. I've got the molds for it, but I haven't messed with it.
That's so good. I got a quick follow up on that one. So how did you make the mold itself? What did you know?
It was printed. So I printed the eye shell part. And then I filled that shell, I did it hollow, and I filled the shell with some Smooth On 65D because if I were to vacuum form on that piece of plastic, it would probably crack and crush it. Yeah. So I just filled it up with some hard resin so that when I did vacuum form, it wouldn't collapse in.
So good. So it was printed first, and then you used that print as basically as the proof, right? And
yes.
Then, that's so good. Awesome.
The other project down here was my Dejaric table.
This is one of my favorites. Check this out, guys. Yeah. Got to get in closer there, Tim. Yeah. Yeah. Each one of these characters I did were hand painted. They were printed on the Phenom L resin printer, and then I just cleaned them up and sorry, I'm bringing in the picture here. And then I painted them up. So, but it does light up. It's got some electronics. I don't have it plugged in right here at the moment, but the tube on the bottom here was actually printed. So that's a printed one circular tube,
nice.
Which I loaded that on Thingiverse. These files are out there. you can easily get them. But yeah, pretty much most of this is printed. Inside of this is a wooden frame though, just to keep it because it's pretty thin. And then the base here is actual wood, so it was to give it some weight so it stays still.
Nice.
But
Fantastic.
And then of course, like I said, C3PO, that was quite the challenge to get this gold effect on it.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
This I did with a silver nitrate process. So it's a chemical process that basically you get a gloss clear coat on your 3D print. You got to have it perfectly smooth. You get a gloss clear coat, and then you put a sensitizer on there so that this silver nitrate will attach itself to it, and then it's basically silver. So he's chrome at first, and then I get a tinted clear coat over the silver nitrate, and that's how he looks like gold. So it's basically real silver sandwiched in between the clear coat and the plastic here.
That's amazing. Wow. And you picked up that process online as well, or you got some pro tips?
Pretty much. Gordon Tarpley was doing it. He is another known C3PO performer. He's kind of like the guy that kind of got me motivated. I saw his work online. He's had a YouTube channel. He's got a lot of great ideas on how to do things. And I had been following him and said, you know what, I'm going to do that. But it's funny. I started with the Marvel stuff first before I started doing any of the Star Wars stuff. I started with Iron Man. So I built, I can't remember which Mark it was, but Mark 48, I think it was. I built him. And then I did War Machine. And War Machine was really great because everything was voice activated in it. I had the shoulder gun would come over. I would shoulder fire, and I'd use those mostly for like visiting children's hospitals or charity events. Whenever somebody asked me. But unfortunately, they're all sitting in a bin right now because I'm running out of space to start putting all these characters in my house. So.
The plight of the maker, the running out of space. Yes, we all feel you there. I'm
working on Chopper right now. So again, another model that was designed by Michael Badley on his 3D. I'm a patron of his, so I follow him, and pretty much all the designs and the instructions on building these things are there. So kudos to the guys that really like him that actually designed that, because I wouldn't have an R2 or a Chopper if it wasn't for him.
I mean, I can only imagine the number of hours you must have in all of it. I mean, any one of these pieces are just an art piece to themselves. But to look at them all together, and then for you to say like, well, this isn't even all. I don't have any of my Marvel stuff here, and all this is just like, my Lord, man, you've been quite busy. Give us a sense of where you started. Like, what was one of the first pieces? Like, can you give us a sense of your evolution in terms of like? Yeah. Where you started and what? Obviously, we've seen your most recent. What was one of the first things you did?
The first thing I did was the Iron Man.
It was the Iron Man. Okay.
It was the Iron Man.
You start big. I love it.
It was actually one of the first 3D printed suits, Iron Man suits that was out there. There wasn't many people doing it. They were doing traditional methods, sculpting and then modeling and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I wore it actually one time. I met Stan Lee in it, so that was kind of neat. And they were a bit shocked. They were like, "Wow, looks pretty real." I got the files were online. People were starting to print. And I think it was probably about 5 or 6 years ago when I first started it.
Wow.
But it's funny. It started with a conversation with my son, and my son, I said we had this Halloween party every year, and I said, "Hey, how'd you like it if I did Iron Man?" And I saw the smile and look on his face, and it kind of resonated with me. I said, you know what? Yeah. I'm going to figure this out. So there were a lot of different ways people were making those. They had things like Pepakura, I guess it's paper and folding it and then putting fiberglass resin. There was foam. And the foam, to me, there's very few foam ones that really look movie quality to me. I mean, there's a few artists out there that can do that, but
yeah,
I tried the foam, and the foam I couldn't get it to look like what I've seen some people do. And then I started reading about 3D printing. I was like, hey, this is probably the way to go. So I started printing, and this was back in the day. I mean, people were using just basic PLA, and things would melt and warp, and just wasn't really. I mean, we were still fumbling. I think I had the Robo. I think it was the Robo R1 or whatever it was.
Yeah,
early printer.
That I know that bell shape well, right?
Yeah.
That original. Yeah.
That was my first printer. So I started with that one, and then you know what happens after that. It's just
they multiply.
20 printers later, yeah.
Yeah, I've got about five printers now. I think that I have.
You mentioned
mostly,
the Piopoli, mostly resin. Yeah, I'm sure you're doing both FDM and resin. Yeah,
right. It's a new edition. I've had that for I wouldn't say new, probably about 8 months. So I've been tinkering with that one. I've got the Form Labs, Form 1.
Nice.
I've got and all the other ones are regular FDMs. So mostly CME CNCs, which are amazing printers. I mean, I have had nothing but great luck. And I built my first one. So after the Robo, I bought the kit and I built the first one, which kind of helped me. I got to know the printer,
right?
By doing that, and then it just multiplied from there. I had a friend who needed some help with some stuff for he was building some pyrotechnic equipment for a skydiving team. They basically strap explosives to themselves and jump out of an airplane. So
what could go wrong?
Yeah. So they needed some,
almost as dangerous as sushi rolling, but
almost.
Yeah. So he asked me if I could help him design and make some stuff to hold those explosives. And so we come up with little pallets basically that strap to their legs, and it kind of evolved over time. And then he picked up a printer for me to help him. And then CME CNC, helped me out. I ended up getting the Boss, which is their massive Delta printer, which is my workhorse now. I predominantly use that for all the large stuff that I have to print. So
I have a real stock V4, and I got it in 2019 at Murph. They just brought out the V4s at that time, and Steve was just absolutely amazing. And I met those guys. That's how I met Caleb, the guy who edits the videos here. And dude, that thing's awesome. I love it. I need to get it on the channel more, or any would be good. But I just love how Deltas print in general.
Yeah,
but they really are great.
When you get them in.
Oh yeah, there is a good question. Someone said, who was it that you were talking about following on Patreon that came up with a lot of those files?
It's if you search for I think it's Michael Badley's Printed Droids. Actually, Caleb is the one that kind of helped me too. He was talking about R2 a long time ago.
Hey, Gary, I see that we have the link in the private chat. You post it.
Yeah, I threw a link in the private chat.
Perfect. Can you just post it up on just throw it in the comments so if someone wants to go check it out?
Yeah. You got it.
Yeah. I think, it's kind of like building when you were a kid, you had model airplanes. If you can print, there are instructions in the folders, tells you, how the parts, all the hardware that you need to assemble it. Because it's a combination of nuts and bolts and different things to hold the droid together. But, once you get all the parts done and you put it together, it's just like building a model airplane, but it includes some electronics knowledge. You're going to have to learn about some of the electronics, but some of the electronics, there are kits out there, boards, that are already assembled that kind of help you along. So you don't have to, redo the process of, but anyways, yeah, it's all there. It's pretty easy to do. So
we should probably point out too, recently on recent episodes, we showed off some of Zolan's work. That was also part of some of the droid files that Mr. Badley posted.
Yes.
Yeah. BB-8. BB-8 was a different entity. That's the most challenging droid that I built so far.
And it's functional.
Yes. Yeah. He is. Somewhat. I have some work and some fixes I got to do to it. I've been working on them. I had them really good about a year ago, and then I ran into some issues with the panel, so I got to redo a couple of the panels so that he rolls really good. But the drive system, there's a couple drive systems out there. Most of them are printable. There's some you could buy, which are pretty expensive, but again, just like R2, the instructions are out there. I think the drive is called Joe's Drive. If you go to Facebook and just search for Joe's Drive, it pops up, and he's got the files and instructions on how to do that. So
nice. Gotcha. And I know there was a Tripods Garage and Zolan and Jerry from 3D Printing and Painting. They've all been doing streams building droids for a couple months at least, and I didn't realize they were from that same Patreon. So that's pretty awesome. I'll have to dive in because they've been doing some really fun little droids and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's been doing these really small ones right now. And,
So while we're talking, I'm going to pop something up on the screen. Here's a couple things from your Instagram that you've done, and we've seen some of this already. So we've seen. Let's see if I can get over to that tab. That'd be good. There we go. So we've seen a couple of these, but I wanted to show off like this bad boy. What are we looking at? And
oh yeah, I did that for a friend, and I wish I had a better picture of that. On my Facebook, I have one. Unfortunately, I don't have it here anymore. I gave it to a Loki helmet that I did for a friend. I actually did two of them, and I did one the same process you saw C-3PO done. So the gold on it just looked. It was incredible. It really awesome, shiny and out in the sun. It was amazing.
How long does that process take? I mean, it sounds like it's something or something else.
That by the way, that medallion you saw there, if you've never seen that, that's like the Academy Award for cosplay. It was myself and Fluke Skywalker, if you've never heard of him. Submitted our costumes during COVID to the San Diego Comic-Con, and we ended up placing in the International Masquerade. So
nice.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's kind of like a big deal in the cosplay community, I guess. But
that's so good.
That was the progress of Moroff as with the suit on. That was at a veteran event where I was visiting some of the veterans and Gold Star family at a gathering. So it was pretty cool. You could kind of see the little light on the chest, and the gun's kind of covering up, but it
that's cool.
So that was the progress of it over time. That was all done via the suit itself was done by latch hooking, which is a very lengthy and tedious process. You can see that character over on the right there, about midway above that picture. There you go.
Yeah.
That was a ZBrush sculpt. So I'm slowly learning ZBrush. I'm finding that the power of ZBrush is when it comes to making props and stuff. It's just amazing what you can actually do with it.
So good.
I haven't had the pleasure of working with it, but I know, everybody that I talk to that has some of the stuff that I see them create is just incredible.
Oh, this is such a cool shot. I mean,
there's that was at down in Celebration. I think a great opportunity. I actually had the chance to meet Anthony 2 times now in that suit, and it was amazing. That's Fluke Skywalker there on the left. Amazing guy. He does a lot of great stuff for Ronald McDonald House.
Nice.
So I have partnered up on a lot of various events now, and looking forward to doing some more stuff with him here in the future.
There's the arms.
yeah, he's all suited up there.
That's awesome.
So there's a video out there that has gone kind of somewhat viral on Facebook that we put out. We use the green screen and as you can see, like in that picture there on the left.
Yeah.
We had a green screen, and we did some video recordings for various charities, and we did birthday wishes and happy anniversary and some of the characters.
Nice.
They're also
cool.
out there on Fluke's Facebook page. So
it's awesome, that you not only take the time to build these things and build them super like very, very realistic, but that you take the time to go to the children's hospitals. Like you take your time to go in front of a green screen and say happy birthday to somebody, stuff like that. That's what makes this community so awesome. And, there's so many comments right now in the chat. They're freaking out, basically, like all your stuff. Did you see that?
Have you seen Bobby yet? Did you see him? I just did it's tiresome. I don't want to, I probably cut off the run now, but I was making a bunch of those. I think I made about 20 of them. But he is, this is my Babu Frick.
Babu Frick is my favorite, man. I love this.
He's,
yeah.
Look at this, guys. Ah,
yes.
And there was a photo we had. I think it was in the thumbnail actually that we had, where you had a series of them. There was like a little army of Fricks.
Yeah. That was it was a lot of work. You talk about tedious work. It's the individual parts, the painting, the hair punching. Again, each one I did, they had I had done it. Took a needle and hair punched all the hair. The eyes were glass eyes. Again, he was printed in resin, and then I partnered with a friend of mine that works at Scott's Models, and he's a professional mold maker. And I invited him over the house, and he helped me do the molds for this guy. And if you're interested, I'll just show you the quality.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. How can we not be? Come on.
Yeah. But wait, there's more.
I love he's just like, oh, and I just happen to have this Babu Frick right here. They're just like, it just pulls out something more amazing.
I think
his molding skills are incredible. And, to have a guy like that come over and show me how to do molds properly. This is the body mold. It's made out of, I forgot. It's a platinum silicone, but it's pretty solid. I mean, this is a big block of silicone, but when you pull it apart, these are the body molds here.
Wow,
so good.
And you can see some amazing craftsmanship there in making this mold. It's kind of neat. He has, you see this little line around here, this fat tube.
Yeah.
All this was clay. He clayed it up this way. And this is kind of neat. I don't see this that often, but what I learned about this is that it works. It kind of makes the other side snap together. A lot of times people will just put like a circle or square there. But with this rounded tube, it holds the parts together. So basically it kind of pops them together.
Good lock. Wow.
It makes a nice seal and a nice lock, and then you can hold it, and the mold doesn't fall apart.
Wow! And the injection cavities on the top.
This is a rotocast one.
Oh, it's a roto. Okay.
Yeah. So when I do this one, I know exactly how much. I think I wrote it on the board here. How many grams of 65D?
Nice.
Put it in there and just spin it around. I do have some of the other parts, because he's made of multiple molds, and like the hands and a few others, those are injected molded. So I'll take a syringe and just, there's a little hole there and squeeze the 65D right in it until it bleeds out the bleed vent. And then that's how that part's made. So
that's so good.
Yeah.
That's
so. And you said there was one more in the run left, and I'll take it. So no.
I don't know.
I'm sure Jimmy couldn't find any takers. That's why he still has it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I thought he said the run ended, but hey, we might have time or room for one more.
I might do another one. I don't know. We'll have to see. It's just so much work, and I, like we talked earlier about, why I like doing this stuff. I kind of do it I kind of pick and choose my projects. If I feel like doing it, I'll do it, and that's why, when you get into a business of doing this for money, then you kind of you can easily lose focus of what you really enjoy, So, I mean, don't get me wrong. If Lucasfilm ever asked me to, hey, would you come work for me, I would go in a drop of a hat. But just to
Well,
be a part.
it looks like you're there, man. You're that caliber for sure. I mean, I'm not joking. That's incredible. You're one of the few people I got to say that has mentioned that they'll actually make more than one, because I feel like a lot of these makers that we talk to, there's so much time, that goes into it that one is all they want before they want, because there's so many other things. And I got to imagine for you too, there's got to be a list as long as your arm of like things you would love to be able to do, and so to be spending the time doing 20 of these things. You don't hear about that very often.
Right.
Yeah. I tend to like, another thing you mentioned earlier is I like to pick those things that not everybody has done, like Gaston. I see a character and I'm like, it's not easy. I mean, I see him and I'm thinking, well, probably because he's difficult to do, most people aren't going to tackle that on. So I like to do it because for one, I like to challenge myself with something, that's going to be, I know it's going to be difficult. And because I know one, it's going to occupy my brain and my time. And it goes into that therapy, that I talked about.
Yeah.
So I think what I just heard is your next project is Jar Jar. No.
Yeah, that's funny. My friend, a good friend of mine, well, he was my boss at work, was always teasing me. He doesn't watch Star Wars, but his favorite character was Jar Jar.
So I got to say something real quick. I don't know. Have you ever heard of Chris Pirillo?
Who is that?
Chris Pirillo.
Exactly.
He's a huge Star Wars guy. Anyways, he just jumped on the stream right now, and I would do it would be a huge injustice if we didn't have you walk back over to that corner where you had those droids while he's watching, because
for the latecomers,
he might just show up at your house through the stream somehow.
So Chris, just so you know, is his claim to fame. He came from I don't know if you remember the old days of like tech TV and the screensavers and stuff like that. But anyway, he's a huge tech guy, but now he's a big Twitch streamer, and he basically runs a bazaar out of his house of all things Star Wars. If it's Star Wars, there's a good chance he's heard of it or has it himself, whether it's collectibles or any of this stuff. But he would definitely appreciate your work, especially some of your, like you said, some of the lesser scene stuff. See right now he's like Moroff, he's really excited to see some of the things that you don't always get to see, right? Yeah.
Look, a lot of people don't know who Moroff is. They're like, I gotta go back and watch Rogue One. I don't remember that character. He had I think maybe total of 5 minutes or less screen time. He was supposed to be a more predominant character. They even made a figure of him, but for some reason they ended up cutting a lot of the scenes out. But I saw him when I first saw him in Rogue One. I was like, wow, that's so cool. I wanted more of him. So since I couldn't see it on the film, I ended up making him. So
that's so good.
However, he did. I don't know if it was him or another similar species make a brief appearance in one of the Mandalorian episodes. So he was at the Cantina bar. I saw sitting with somebody in conversation, and I saw him right away. I said, "Oh, that's him." So really cool.
It's amazing how many cameos or Easter eggs are in Mandalorian. If you actually watch it through another time, you're like, wait a minute, and I never noticed some of the stuff right away, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait, just like you said, is that him sitting in the cantina?
Yeah,
that's always fun when they do that. Yeah.
So well, you've centered in on a number of hot topics that I got to reinforce to our viewership that I think it's really great that you're able to pick and choose what you're passionate about. And a lot of times I'm sure you have no shortage of people who have approached you and asked you to do commission work and all this. And it's got to be a hard thing to just, but an important thing, I think, to keep the therapy piece and the enjoyability to you, to just be like, you know what, this is for me. And I'm assuming you don't do commission work, right?
Just when I feel like it.
Just when you feel like it.
Typically, nice. I choose the project.
Yeah.
And if it comes out good and somebody says, hey, I want one, can you make one? Then I might do it. It just depends on my time and schedule and what other projects I have going on. So sometimes it just ends up like the Bible run that I did ends up funding my work, the other projects I'm doing, like buy I'll sell a bunch of babus and I'll buy silicone and the supplies needed to finish off Piston, so.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you're
That's
as long as you're supporting the hobby, you feel like you're happy with what you're doing. That sounds
Yeah.
like.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, like this guy, none of it's cheap. It's,
No, I can't imagine what it is.
Silicone gets expensive when you start, especially it doesn't always come out right the first time. So, like right now I'm actually working on a mold. You could probably see it on the desk right there for C3PO. I made a head. It's kind of interesting. This is a new sculpted head of C3PO, which is in the mold right now. These two guys right here. Yeah. It's the front half and the back half of the head. And I took there's a 3D scan of the original suit from Empire Strikes Back on Thingiverse. And so, of course, a scan needs a lot of work, not a lot of cleanup. Yeah. And so I spent a lot of time, using references from the film to sharpen the details that were lost on the original model, and then hollowing that model out and then printing it. And then I actually, it was a solid head. So I had to hollow the head out and then split the model. And then I had to add clay in there for the seam walls. But still, even then I tried to make it as accurate as I can. So I have a head now. It was off of Thingiverse. Great. It was a great model. You can print it. If you go on Thingiverse, Jesse did an entire C3PO model on Thingiverse that you can print. Nice. But I mean, he knows, and he's working on it too, that there are some details that were not captured. So for the hardcore guys like Gordon Tarpley, that accuracy is really important.
Sure.
I even chat with him over the Facebook Messenger. Hey, did I do this right? Or does this detail supposed to be sharp? And and we were going back and forth. So hopefully, if this comes out right, I'll have a new head, a little bit more accurate than the one that I have right now. So even though that suit is Lucasfilm approved, I submitted him to Lucasfilm through the Outer Rim, and Lucasfilm wrote me back and said, "Congratulations, you're
nice
approved." So in addition to the, I think they're.
What does that mean exactly? Just
basically
the seal of approval.
That means that if Lucasfilm needs me for something, maybe a commercial, or obviously there's only one C3PO, and that's Anthony Daniels. But we have another friend, that I talked to, Chris Bartlett. He's also an amazing. I mean, I look at some of his performances. He's a former Disney C3PO performer, but he's also appeared in The Mandalorian a few times. He's done. He was Q9 in the suit in the film, but he does C3PO. He was the C3PO for in the scene when Grogu was eating the cookie, and there was a C3PO up front, the teacher. So he's done quite a few, and I kind of look up to how well he does that, and I'm trying to step up my performance game myself. So
that's amazing. Congrats on that. And listen, Tim, we could talk to you probably for hours and hours about all this awesome stuff, but we do have a handful of hot makes that were submitted to us, and I know people always love seeing what other makers out there think of that. So if you got time to hang with us, we'd love to go through that, and then we got our giveaway at the end, and you're welcome to be part of that.
All right.
What do you say? Let's dive into some hot makes.
All right. Sounds great. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Right. And of course, the first thing I've got to do is actually share the hot mix, right? So here we got first. Yeah, thank you for that, Gary. Just share. Yeah,
but wait,
on the theme of Star Wars, since we're already talking about it, we got a nice Ahsoka Tano here, submitted to us by Chris Travis, very prolific contributor to Hot Makes, and it was made by the famous Sidnique. So I don't know if you've seen this before, Tim, but the detail on this, he did one in resin on his Anycubic Photon. but the skin like looks almost perfect. And I'm guessing coming right off. I didn't see if he'd mentioned any kind of finishing at this level, but these resin printers these days, what you get just straight out of the machine is just incredible.
Yeah, the details, the eyes, everything. It's amazing.
Yeah. Let's see here if it goes any deeper. That's a nice print there, Chris. Thank you for sending that to us. Onward, can a functional print be a HotMakes? Jim, can a functional print be a HotMakes?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, it can. So we love seeing practical printing on the show. It looks like Blasto submitted something. He had to design some brackets that would let him add a keyboard tray to his standing desk. That's a great functional print, Blasto. Thank you for sending that. Looks fantastic. And it looks like he just did some like little lowering brackets, and maybe even modular, so he could adjust it, get a feel for what he wants, huh? Very nice. It's easy. I love the old school Apple keyboard too. So what, Tim, one of the interesting things about, the 3D printing community is there's so many neat sub communities that we have part of it. And obviously, you do a lot of cosplay work and stuff. And there's a whole nother segment. Blasto comes to us through these the cyber decks, which are basically like, I don't know if you're familiar with a cyber deck, but oftentimes like a Raspberry Pi, people be building their own little computer terminals with like custom keyboards and custom screens, and a lot of times they'll make them old and retro and stuff like that. So it's a neat community, and we're lucky to have them submit some of the cool stuff they do to us as well. Pushing onward, Maker's Niche. And we got from the Snyder cut of Justice League. I know you talked about Marvel. I don't know how much you're into the DC world, Tim.
I haven't touched too much of that. Not DC.
It's
but I like it.
Looking more. Yeah, right. Well, it's hard not to have a good appreciation for.
Right.
There you go. That's a fantastic model.
Yeah, I really liked all the different colors and washes and everything that he put into this.
The painting is
Batman's head, of course.
Yeah, the cowl. It's just the cowl. Yeah. It's not his whole head.
Well, you know what I mean.
But the painting detail, and that's one thing that I'm not a painter. I don't have the patience. I like to think of myself as a broad strokes maker. Tim, you've obviously done a ton of painting, all kinds of different paint work, I'm sure, airbrushing and everything, right?
I'm still learning. I fortunately have a good friend a friend here locally that I friended that does stuff for Sideshow. And so he's a professional airbrush artist, and he's given me some great tips as well. That's
great. Sounds like you're part of quite a few different Facebook groups and communities, and that you're just constantly learning from everybody, huh?
Yeah. Yep.
I'm always glad to hear about people leveraging community in a good way, because there's a lot of times people are talking about how everybody's infighting and stuff, but the positivity that we get as makers from finding like-minded individuals that are willing to teach and share is fantastic.
I just recently did a project for Baston. I wanted the eyes, the chimp eyes, and I struggled making them, and all of a sudden a friend pops me a message, "Hey Tim, I have somebody that needs something printed. Could you print it?" And I said, yeah. And then come to find out, he works at Animax down in Tennessee, and he's their senior mold maker. He does the big eyes for the robotic dinosaurs and stuff like that. And he said, let's work out a deal. So he just made some eyes. I wish I can, maybe I can send a picture of it over to Colette, but it's mind-blowing how beautiful these eyes came out. So I can't wait to get them. When I have this on display, I'll have the eyes in, so it'll really just kind of look really nice.
And that's interesting. Like, I got to imagine just the craft of making eyes alone is its own art form.
Oh,
right?
It is.
Never mind all the rest of it.
Yeah, I've tried. I'll show you when I failed at.
Let's just pull him in real quick.
While he's doing that, I love the that was a palette, I believe, that they were using here, right?
Yeah, the gator.
The alligator, yeah. So good.
The palette gator.
The rainbow palette gator.
Yeah. So Evan, looks like he's been playing with toys and time lapse techniques, and he's got a CR30 going, and that's a very popular CR30 test model because you get a nice long print. And I like the random seam mode that he did, just stringing together different colors with the palette. Very cool, Evan.
I can't find the eye, but anyways, this was another one that I made.
Oh, nice.
This was all printed pretty much.
Wow. Look at the grass tufts. That's incredible, man.
The grass, of course, was it's kind of funny. This was just a blanket or a piece of fabric at Joann's that you can get. And then I airbrushed it green, and it looks like grass. So
it really does. That's incredible. Just a casual, stormtrooper with a speeder. I love it.
I love it. He's like, I might have an eye. Give me a second. He comes back, but no, I don't. But here's another one of these.
Here's your constellation model.
A constellation model that is better than most things or anything I could do. Just sitting around, just hanging out. I love that. All right, what we got next? Oh yeah.
And so it begins. We got our own little mini gyms now showing up.
Did you read the comment? Did you read the comment on this?
Yeah. Mini Jim looks a little sus to me, and there he is right there in the middle of all the Among Us characters. One of these things is not like the other. That's a good detail. It's a good looking mini Jim there.
There you go.
Love it.
I mean, I'm at the pinnacle. I can't go any higher than getting a Wexter model. So
I know. That's how you know you've made it, right? Wexter's made a model of you. That's it for the HotMakes for this week. Oh, maybe we don't need to share that. Don't want to see our behind the scenes agenda reports. So it was a fun smattering.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say thank you guys for submitting. I'm sorry we didn't have a lot of time. We wanted to spend a lot of time with Tim, so we only pulled in a small handful. But please keep submitting #HotMakes every time you see awesome stuff on the Twitters, on the Instagrams, and we will share it on a show in the near future.
Yeah, there's so many good ones, and it's hard when you have to narrow them down. To pick 5 or 6, it's hard to figure out which ones you want to pick. But if you look at the doc or the description below, there's a link to a doc, if I could talk tonight. And you can go and you'll see episode 59, link dump, and everything that was submitted is on there, even if we didn't show it. So if you want to check out all the other cool stuff, go pull open that doc, check it out. I always watch it, and there's always a couple people lurking in there checking out stuff. So, feel free to do that. But what else we got today? I got to do some mail. We do some mail real quick.
All right, we're gonna bust open some mail real quick.
I muted while you were doing the first hot mix, so I could bust the packaging open, but I didn't.
Show us what you got.
Yeah, Oh no, I'm gonna show my address on screen. So no, it's in the description below if you want to send something to us. But let's see. This was sent over by David Wilson. I know he's with us. I've seen him chatting, and let me just open this up.
What do you got there?
So
looks like he printed something for you.
He printed something for me, and it looked like this. Yeah,
and what do you got in there?
With props, prop Oreos. But this is what it does. Yes,
you have an Oreo holster.
Yeah, I have an Oreo holster now, and you could just take that off.
But those aren't real Oreos.
Hang on. What was that? It's an Oreo what, Jim?
Holster?
Holster?
Holster? Yeah.
That's what I said.
We found another Jimism.
I think we found another Jim
We're
word.
gonna collect them
Oh
all.
no. But so he sent me over that, and he sent another box that's much bigger. And I've just busted the top open, so I didn't have to take so long. But when I did that,
smokes.
look at this.
What is this? You got
HotMakes is not sponsored by
one week
Oreo.
supply of Oreos for Jim. Perfect.
Not sponsored by Oreo, but these are
Not
some
sponsored.
cool things.
We could be.
But thank
generous.
you so much, David Wilson. I am pumped. I'm gonna grab some milk. I'm gonna grab some milk, and and use my
Tim,
new
just so you know,
Oreo.
we have a running joke. Jim apparently, because Oreos are too hard, decides that he runs them under warm water to soften them up to eat them, which disgusts everybody else. Why would you run an Oreo under warm water? It doesn't make any sense.
if I'm in a hurry, I just want a soft one real quick. Just little, just rinse it just a hair.
It's so gross, Jim. It's so gross.
No, God,
Well,
please, no.
Now with this, I won't have to because I could just put my milk right in here, and I have the Oreo holster. And
Now
I'm good.
it's milk. Good. Milk is okay. Milk is fine. Milk is normal. We can get behind milk.
Thank
What
you
a great
so much,
gift.
David Wilson, for sending that. If anyone else wants to shoot us something, we'll unbox it live right here. The address is in the description of all of the HotMakes videos. And I can't wait to see what else we get now, because the bar has been set with Oreo holster. You got to beat Oreo holster. Am I saying it right now? Holster?
Well, you got holster right, but the Oreo started to slur. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Oh my god.
So that's awesome. What a show it's been. What do you say we give some stuff away?
We definitely need to give some stuff away. While we're talking, I'm going to go grab
some stuff away.
Yeah, I do. I need to open up the doc. So this is your last chance to register. If you did not register yet, you better jump in there now because we're doing it.
I can sense some big winners. We're going to do 3 spins. Now, Tim, you have a very important job as our guest. We always have our guests spin the wheel. We have a wheel. We put all the names in for the giveaway. And then the guest, through the magic of CG, reaches through the screen and just like flips the wheel. And it's a great honor. So I hope you'll participate.
Through the magic of CG, I like that.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I want to make sure we got the right size here.
What are we giving away first, Jim?
We'll do the. Whoa! Look at that. How about that?
Nice big. There we go. Wheel of Fish names.
Oh, you know what? I can't do that because I can't paste the names in. There we go. Good enough. So let's do the. We're going to give away 2 of the filament boxes from 3D Printing Gear, and that will be all 5. So we were giving 5 away, and we were going to do them once a week, but we thought let's do 2. So we're going to do them one at a time. If you have not registered, it is now too late. I do believe these are U.S. only.
Yes.
For these. So I just want to throw that out there. So I pasted the names. Make sure you guys can see that. All right. Here's what you got to do for us, Tim. You got to turn towards it. Reach through the screen, and on the count of 3,
that you think it is.
Give that a spin upwards from you.
Yeah. So it's almost you got to go this way.
All right.
On 3.
Ready?
1.
So not into the screen, to the side, to your side. So see what we're doing here. So you're gonna reach your arm in.
Okay.
Other arm, other way. There you go.
All right.
There you go. And then on 3, you're gonna flip upward. Okay, that's how it works. All right.
Here we go. Count it down.
1, 2, 3. Flip.
Hey!
He nailed it. He nailed it for a shot. That was in with what Daryl did last week. That was solid. What do we got for the 3dprintinggear.com filament crate Cosbricks? You're a winner. Let yourself be known in the chat.
Yeah, let us know if you're here still. Make sure you have to be present to win. And I'm searching here real quick to see if you are here. If you're US, that's what I need to know real quick. Maybe
Waiting.
US. No.
They
respond yet?
Well, we're waiting. Hey, man. Oh, he's here. He's here.
All right.
Yeah. Congrats to Cosbricks. Are you in the United States?
Yeah,
Mr. Cos. Mr. Bricks.
The K. Cos. Why am I not? Oh, there it is. United States. I see it. Perfect.
All right. Very
All
good.
right,
Tim, you nailed
nice.
it the first time. We're going to need you to do the same thing again.
Right. Yep.
Let's see if you can do it twice in a row.
Remember which
All
arm?
right, you go ahead and give us a 3 count, Tim. You got it.
Right. 1, 2.
Oh.
Ready?
Yep.
3.
Oh, wait. I got the audio. I think we have a little lag. I don't think that was your fault, Tim. I don't think that was your fault. I think we had a little delay in the stream, but
Radmaster.
Radmaster. We're gonna chalk that up to the streaming elves interfering.
Yeah, Radmaster is US if they are here, so make sure you're here.
Okay.
See it? Come
Doesn't let
on,
himself
say
know.
something.
And while you're doing that, we're gonna queue up the anywhere in the world that Amazon ships, which is everywhere.
Anywhere in the world.
For the $50 Amazon gift card, courtesy of Thangs. Thank you to Thangs for sponsoring the show and doing a giveaway. Now we've been doing this giveaway for how long now from Thangs, Jim?
It's been awesome. It's been quite a while I think since maybe March. I think we've been, or I can't remember when we first started working with Thangs. It's been a couple months though.
Radmaster is here.
Awesome!
Nice.
Congrats, Radmaster.
All right, $50 gift card to
you,
Thangs. Let's rock and roll. You ready? One more spin.
Last one,
more
Tim.
spin.
Third time's a charm. Give us a 3 count.
1, 2, 3.
Hey,
That's
there
pretty
you go.
good. Pretty good. I like the double. You got given a little extra that time.
Yeah,
Let's see what we got.
Just in case.
Oh, just past Tripod's garage. You're a winner. $50 gift card, courtesy of Thangs.com. Congratulations, Gary. Let us know you're here in the chat real quick before we sign off.
And Gary T's from Canada. If as long as they're still here, he's still here.
Canada
That's awesome.
has
We have
Amazon.
a
I've seen it.
Canadian winner. Hey, there it is.
Nice.
Nope, the gift card is anywhere in the world. So you just won $50 courtesy of Thangs, my friend.
Yeah.
All
Well, thank
right.
you to everybody. Thank you to our sponsors. That was awesome. Thank you to Tim. And
Yeah.
before we close up, Tim, I want to give you one last chance to let people know where they can follow you. Where are you most posting your stuff?
You know, probably Instagram. I think I've had a few people just tag me a little while ago.
Okay.
I haven't been as active, but I'll probably start putting more of my projects on there. I try to keep Facebook to people that I know in the family and friends and
Sure.
stuff. But yeah, if you're interested, tag me on Instagram, and I think I'll send a link to Caleb, and he can put it out there if he hasn't already. So
Very cool. And
Sounds good.
are there any groups, any Facebook groups that you're part of, or any places like they can find you on there that you recommend?
Yeah, I'd recommend the Mr. Badley Droid, C3PO Builders. A lot of the projects that I've printed and done was the Build It and They Will Come group. So I've done some of the models that I use, like the Tauntaun and that Snowspeeder I got from them. It's a patron group. But those are pretty much the 3 that I can think of right now. And of course, I occasionally pop up on the RPF, the replica prop forum, all things that I put out. I occasionally pop it on there too. So
very good. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to join us and sharing all this awesome stuff. And thank you for your service. Obviously, as a veteran, I think you found a really fantastic outlet for, obviously, like you said, therapy, but a great hobby. And it sounds like you do a lot of giving back to the community as well by doing charitable events and all that stuff too. So we appreciate you for that. Everybody go follow him on Instagram. Check it out. His recommendations on Facebook groups if you're interested in droid and prop building and stuff like that.
We'll
it's been a great time.
I can't remember, but I will make sure that all your social links are in the description of this video. So for the replays, people going forward, you can just click those links. Go find Tim. His stuff is amazing. Perfect. Thanks, Gary. So Gary's on it. I actually coded that part right.
He's efficient today.
Yeah, but thank you so much. Also, I just tossed the link in there if you want to be part of the 3D print contest from Filament. All you have to do is print a sweet face, your design or somebody else's. But if you use anyone else's design, you have to credit the original artist and tell us where you got it, because that's pretty big in our community. But let's see, you could win one up to $500 in prizes are given away. It's going to be a lot of fun. So that's in there. David Wilson, thank you again. I appreciate this. This is going to be probably dinner tonight. So Chris Perillo gets
Nice
cereal on his stream, and I'm going to have Oreos. So other than that, thank you guys for coming. We will see you next week right here on HotMakes, 6 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Pooch time.
Tim, hang out just a second. We're gonna do the run out, and we'll see you in the green room in just a sec. Everybody else, have a good night.
Tacos. Bye, guys. Have a good night.
Woo!